Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and dale to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hey guys, welcome to Savage Man Sundays. We didn't get dressed up for nothing. I know I did a double negative because I'm country. Okay, so in case y'all are not on our Discord and you did not get the memo, sadly, our GM Destroyer of Worlds, Mike, is unfortunately not feeling very well. So we went ahead and sent him to bed and to get some rest because we all mommed him. Mom, Veska, mom, Ash, mom, she's just moms everybody. It's fine. So just so y'all know, we will be doing a very special episode. The special episode will be an AMA, Ask Me Anything. So I'm gonna bring our other players in. First we have Just Mab, who is Ash Thornlock.
Hi there. I will end all of you, but with a smile.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't mean that. Okay. I don't mean that. I'm a good girl.
Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Right,
I have this thing. I'm not evil.
There you go. All right, and then of course we have Tanya, our lovely tea lady, as one of the many Eskas.
I'm just happy to be here.
So I will quote unquote moderate this and help bring, and I hear my children screaming in the background. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, y'all gonna get the full unfiltered version of what it's like at our homes. Probably my children running into my room randomly because I told them that I don't have a show and they're gonna bust up into my center. So it is an AMA. So if y'all have any questions about the game, about us, don't be a dick, we didn't flaw. About us as performers, about what we might have coming up, anything like that. But I guess we can kind of do like a quick intro of ourselves. We know chance of losing Nesca. Yeah.
Nesca. Oh my God, Nesca. We're not there yet.
You ahead of the you ahead of the alphabet, my guy. So if y'all have any questions, and I guess since we don't really get a chance to do this on this game, we can kind of like and there goes my child, and we're just gonna kind of, I guess, like quick intro of ourselves, just of what we do. So let's start with Tanya.
Oh, wasn't expecting to go first. Okay. Hi. No, it's fine. Hi, I'm Tanya. And as you've probably heard, I own a tea shop. It's called Tabletop Teas. You can find it at tabletopteas.com, and you can find special Nat21 teas at tabletopteas.com/Nat21. I actually have my degree in museum education, and I was a museum professional for a long time. But I have a terrible CPTSD work story for why I left my job, and then there's just no real jobs, and then COVID. So I was like, you know what? I'll open a tea shop. I have been doing theater in one form or another since middle school. I actually originally went to college on a scholarship to do theater.
Ooh,
and yeah, I know. And then I, like a year and a half into it, I bailed. I was like, I am surrounded by people I can't stand and late nights, and I'm moving on. And I have been playing D&D since 1995.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. Next we're gonna go to the lovely Mab.
Ooh, suckers. I'm on a full screen. I have no. Oh, hey guys. I'm Mab, DC's own sideshow girl. I just turned 50. I like long walks. So, I mean, I've been an artist and a performer, character actor. I've retired right before COVID. Like in January, I made the announcement of my soft retirement from performing, and I was like, this is the last thing I'm gonna do. And it was the Southern Sideshow Hootenanny in New Orleans, and I was like, this is the last thing. And I get down there and I do the show, and during the show they were like, yeah, we're gonna lock down. I'm like, fuck, I retired just at the right time. Flew back, didn't have to worry about like booking gigs or losing gigs or anything, because I hadn't booked any. And out of all of my performer friends, I felt that I was really lucky. And then so I retired because I'm, like, I have mobility issues, as it's like doing all day at the fair has just gotten to be really difficult and painful. So when Paul asked me to do the Nat21 adventures, I was like, I can do that. I don't have to like run up hills and pee in porta-johns and dealing with bugs and hot weather and cold weather. And
am I to understand I can do this sitting down?
I know. It was the greatest thing.
I don't have to walk. I don't
have to wear pants. Oh, wait.
Right? You guys get it. So I, ever since the pandemic, I was like, I think we started doing Nat 21 in April of 2020. So March, April. Yeah, wow, that was not long after the lockdown. Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, that's so I thank you, Sir David. That was true. I was like, that was my first Ren Fair experience was this year at the New Jersey Ren Fair 2021.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I feel weird being in solo because it is a conversation.
Okay, there you go.
It's totally a conversation. But
I was trying to
down my wine while people weren't looking. And then
I gotta go get some. I gotta go get some at some point. Yeah.
Wow.
I guess it's my turn since I did it to everybody else.
You get soloed. Boom.
All right. Oh, I was done. All right, guys. My name is May Hemmer. I think I'm like the only one out of the entire Nat 21 group that is not a Ren Fair performer. I'm actually I haven't performed at a Ren Fair. Well, I guess technically I have with Paulo with that shenanigans at NJRF. Anyway,
well, you also performed at a fairy festival, so I'm counting that.
Oh yeah, I did perform at a fairy festival. I did the Baltimore Fairy Fair. That was lovely. So Lord, the royal we. So I'm actually a burlesque dancer. I've been doing it for like going on 10 years now, but I am a longtime theater kid. I'm a professional cosplayer. I teach cosplay and costuming at several cons around the country. I judge a lot of costuming events. I also joke LOL. I work at a quilt shop for my day job. So I continue to sew. I get to sew for literally my whole life now. And lulz, I actually was a banker in my past life. I worked in corporate America. I was a wealth manager for Capital One. I know, right? Pay was crap. But I was I did management of people's estates and stuff like that before I said this is soul sucking. And then I went to a small local bank in New Orleans where I was just a normal little loan officer doing mortgages and stuff like that. And then I had my 2 little boys. Yeah, it was great. I got to actually do like something good for the community in that one.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so then I had my second son and it just wasn't going to work out with us being solo. And so I started focusing full time on my costuming again and performing and doing burlesque and stuff like that. So that's my background. I've been sewing for insert years here because I won't tell how old I am. And I'm lying. No, I'm 34 and I've been sewing for like 20 some years now. I started sewing when I was 5. So I've been sewing a long time. Wow.
I like our age spread.
I love it. I saw a question. David Percival asked, what drinks is this episode brought to us by tonight? Right now, agua.
Yeah, I finished my wine, so we're down to
I gotta go get some wine. But since we're not being professionals, we can all take turns stepping off screen to go get some wine. This is we're not gaming. Baltimore Fairy Fair I think was technically my first like fair experience. I got to do burlesque there, and I got to be an elf all weekend, which was great. I got to be an elf, and I got to dance as my elf. It was great.
No.
Is it volcano water? No, this is well water special.
This is a good question, actually.
What city would qualify for a local pickup? Austin,
Texas. Yeah, Quinn Kevin is brilliant. So he ordered the pack, the Halloween adventure pack, and he's like, "Oh, I can pick it up," and we're like, "Oh man, it just the timing of it was not working." But I contacted Ansa when Quinn Kevin contacted me, and I was like, "Can we do it?" And Ansa's like, "Nah, her eldest was getting some surgery, and she needed to be with him." Yes. So, yes, me, Cookie. Baltimore Fairy Fair. As soon as COVID is out, let me tell you one of the little hidden gems. So Nina, I don't know if you know her, Nina Amaya. She is very prominent in the Fae community. She even founded a Fae church. She's adorable. I love her. She is family. She was entertainment director at the Maryland Fairy Festival, and she is also very active in all of the other fairy festivals of like coordinating people and doing stuff. She lives in Baltimore, and Maryland Fairy Festival is the first and only, to my knowledge, inner city fairy festival. And it's done in an old church. Yeah. Go on, Meg.
I loved it. I loved it because as I don't know how to explain it, but you know, it's deep in the city. So like you got people walking around, and it's somewhere where you're gonna get a large community of different ethnicities, and they get to see the Fae community, and it's really great because like growing up, I didn't really get that that integration. And yes, Charm City. I didn't get that integration as a child. Because like growing up, I got told, oh, Black people don't do that. Oh, blah, blah, you know, whatever. So like I jumped at the opportunity to talk to minorities and different ethnic groups when they were passing by, and they see a Black elf, and it was great because they were like, wait, what? And a couple of people actually came in and joined once they were like, wait, what? You know. So, you know, I love how inclusive that Nina makes every event that I've even gone to, or just even her little booths. The first time I met her was at MarsCon, and like she was a mermaid just laying out in a chair in her like mermaid thing, just chilling, just living her best life. And it was eye-opening to know that, you know, how much things have changed since I was a child, and how I can actually help promote that and be another face where kids can see, you know, there's someone that looks like me at things, you know. And that's why I love Nina. She's so inclusive.
It was
makes
great.
Everything like super. It's so good.
May, when you brought your kids, if I
I brought my little boy. I brought my oldest. Yeah.
And there were neighborhood kids that were nervous about approaching this because the amount of colors of people and costumes, and I could see it was such a foreign thing to them. And then they saw your eldest, and they saw you, and they were able, like, more comfortable to come in.
Yeah.
And it's like there shouldn't be a barrier for people. Yeah. And there really is technically not a barrier. It's a social constructed, a lot of presumptions. But in this environment, you know, it's such a positive and open experience for everybody.
It was great. And like, you know, with my kid being multiracial and stuff like that, you know, they got to see my husband, the tall ginger, you know, half Irish, half Austrian dude, with my little boy who's very cafe au lait, curly hair, you know, hugging up on me, you know, who's a darker skinned woman. And these kids were like, wait, what? Like, and they were like, holy crap, you know? So yeah, like they saw kids that looked different, that weren't, you know, Caucasian looking children playing and enjoying it. So they were like, yeah, we're into this. Like, we're game. I want to do this. I want to love this.
Representation matters.
I mean, really? Right.
Who comes up with these crazy things?
Yeah, I know, right?
Socialist.
But, so that's the Baltimore Fairy Festival. I love it. And so it's only one day, and it stands out from other fairy festivals in a lot of different ways. It's indoors mostly. And it's one day. It's not a camping event. And it's you know, it's not as high end as some of the places with those mega stage and all these kinds of crazy stage lights that happen. But they, if you do go to the Baltimore Fairy Festival webpage and sign up, you will see that they occasionally do like special balls, like winter balls or a Halloween ball. Yeah.
I know when I went to the one, they had like because it was like changing of the guards, so to speak, with the different Fey realms. And and because it was a nighttime thing, they made it adult only because they were supposed to, because there's wine and booze and stuff. And you know, they yeah, they had burlesque, and like they loved it because they had POCs there that had never seen a black burlesque dancer before.
Ugh, that
So
breaks my
like they
heart.
were all like, "What?" Yeah.
It
And like my
reminds
sister
me,
was
I don't
very
know if you've ever seen her stuff or are aware of her, but uh I know she's like, I think she's on Instagram and like YouTube, but she's black woman in a big dress, I think is the name
yes,
of it.
girl in a big dress.
Yeah.
Black girl in a big dress. I
And I love her. I love
love
her
her whole
stuff.
series. I love her whole because honestly, the struggle is real in those dresses in the parking lot, and like the one where she's with the guy where he's like a totally different person outside of garb, and like
Right.
they're struggling in the parking lot, and then they show up, and she was like, "No, such and it's the best thing ever."
The one,
But
so
like
I
if
got
I had
introduced to her through the video she had where her friends were always saying like
girl,
black people don't do this, and she's like, I'm black
yes,
and I do it.
yeah, but it's a cultural thing too.
Yep.
Like, like even your friends like that's whatever. But like she essentially talked about my life growing up when I
Yeah.
did LARPing and stuff. Because I was like, this is literally me as a 20-something living my best life. Like but yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting.
My first fair was TRF.
Nah.
In 1977.
Nice.
Oh, girl.
My parents took me. Clearly, I was 1 at the time. Did not take myself.
I went to obviously Louisiana Renaissance Fair. New Orleans girl here. It was like right there. It was great.
When I started playing D&D, I was 5 or 6.
Oh wow!
And we started playing D&D because we created our own game that was exactly like D&D, only called Malls and Mayhem, because our brothers told us that we couldn't play D&D because we were girls. So one of my sisters took the rules and just scratched out words and wrote Malls and Mayhem and said the boys couldn't play it. And I was Angela.
The boys couldn't play it.
And it was my first character was essentially a druid, and I could speak with animals.
I love it.
I don't know how I missed D&D for so much of my life because like I grew up hella nerdy, and I grew up. So my big toy groups were Star Wars, Transformers, and Matchbox / Hot Wheels. So it wasn't like I was being sequestered in some sort of girly world or anything. But I think because of the circumstances of where I grew up, grew up on a golf course and took etiquette classes at the country club kind of thing. I think I wasn't surrounded by enough of the right people who were like also into it. So I literally, I knew it existed. I didn't know much about it. And I got to college and these guys were like, do you want to play this game? And I'm like, sure. Like literally anything that's not doing my homework, I'll give it a go.
Nice. See, and I feel like I fell into it late because my mother remembers when D&D came out. And it was like when the fanatical shit was going on in college, when it was her college years and people were like losing their minds and doing crazy stuff.
Panic.
Yes. And when I first heard about it, she goes, no, like, cause she just remembers like people like doing crazy stuff. And she was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that here. And I was just like, what? So I think I was in high school when I finally just said, piss off, Mom. And I just started playing with my friends.
I just did it.
Brave girl.
I'm sad that Mike is not here with us, but hopefully he's being a good Mike and laying down and taking care of himself. For those who don't know, Mike and Mike's family were very much a part of those early days of D&D coming together. So his last name, Nystel, you will find it in the spell compendium. There have been, I think, 3 spells with the Nystel name. There's one remaining, Nystel's Magic Aura. And that is indeed named after his family. So yeah. And for those who used to really follow the lore and know that there was this like council of mages, right, knows that Nystel is one of them. And the story of Nystel kind of ends with him dying and disappearing, but he sort of died and been reincarnated like I think once before. So Mike has decided, so y'all, this will be some background stuff for our game. Mike has decided that Nystel's rebirth this time has been in the form of this woman, because as Mike said, Nystel started as his dad, and then it has alternated being him and his brother through the years, and he felt it was really time that Nystel become his mother, because his mother played with them too, and was part of the play testing and such that they did. So Mother Willa in our game is Nystel, is Mama Nystel.
That's the Mama Nystel.
Mama Nystel. I got to play when I first met Mike's brother Brian. We were playing this game called Dungeon. And it's a board game. It's like a board game version of Dungeons and Dragons, except you're all just in there like everybody's trying to get loot and try to get out fast. It's not like cooperative or like party driven or RP driven at all. But he had one of the original versions of this game, and his mom had made little notes and changes and stuff on like some of the cards and such. And it was so sweet having like seeing like all her handwriting, all this, and that he still has this game and it's still very much like a part of their lives. It's so sweet.
That sounds awesome.
I know.
Awesome.
Aren't they adorable?
His mama gave me an amulet.
And so when people are like, there are no women, like there aren't women in D&D, like there actually have been, like since the beginning, since the inception. But there just weren't many, and they were often sidelined and not talked about. And of course, there is always males saying things about women's capabilities in playing the game, which were complete bullshit. But women have been in the game the whole time.
Yep. So does anybody have any more questions? I know we're like
I'm loving
running
the comments. My
I know,
favorite thing so far in the comment thread is everyone talking about their early D&D experiences, and it's just really nice to sit and reflect about where we came from and where we are now and how far we have come.
Oh God,
yeah, there's still male gatekeeping and everything, but we are so far from where it started.
I tell so because I talk with women who have started playing like in the last 5 years, and there's a lot of complaining, and that complaining should happen, or that pointing it out that we're not there yet. And I want to be like, I just need you to understand how far we've come.
Yeah, like it's been a lot. Like there's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of changes.
And I'm looking forward to more.
So we kind of wanted to for this game, we had talked about it, and we really wanted more of an all femme identifying
we actually voted
dynamic for this game. Yeah, we voted for it. Like we literally was like, can we have and we wanted more of a femme presenting game, because I mean, let's just be honest, a lot of the games you see are more male driven anywhere, not just anywhere, like all the other channels.
921 is definitely very conscious of that
diverse
kind of thing in general, as a channel on the whole. But
and very specifically because Hyborian Age pulp is extremely male dominated. It comes from the male gaze. All the art is certainly male gaze oriented. Everything about it. So we're like, What if we turn that on its head?
Exactly.
And that's why we went with the Chads, because we were like, there's always like, so we're like, we're gonna have Chads.
We're gonna have Chads.
If they got to have these gangs where women are running around skimpy and whatever, and they got oogled, we're gonna turn it, like Tanya said, on its head, and we're gonna oogle at these half naked warriors and be creepers and doing this.
Straight up, y'all, it is my God-given right as a woman over 40 to objectify all of the men folk.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't read the fine print in my over 40 pamphlet.
So is that what I get to look forward to in 6 years?
Yes, apparently. Straight. And I'm mandatory to wear leopard print or very obsidian clothing.
Okay, I have that leopard print
tube top now.
I have a lot of leopard print. It's also called it's also called stripper neutral for us burlesque dancers. I have a lot of stripper neutral, a lot of black. I love it. I love the Chads. Need more himbos. I love some good himbos. I love a good himbo.
I love it. Thank you for supporting our objectification of fictional characters.
Right. I mean, right.
And I actually, and then the fact that, because I will also more sneak peeks behind the story. The characters as you meet them now are not the characters as we originally wrote them.
Yeah.
We had some, because originally I pitched Yeska as being a mom whose kids were grown, because I myself am a mother of a 19-year-old. And I was like, I never get to play a character that is me, who is a woman at this stage of my life. I feel really weird giving this speech while I have like rosy cheeks and freckles. As a woman at this stage of my life, like, what if I lived in that kind of world and I was leaving behind the role of being a child rearer and a, more homebound person, and was like, but now what I can give my tribe and my village is like this protection and this, outside, coming from the outside. And so that was originally like what I was thinking. And Mike really liked the idea that
I love it.
That we would all be young, because the other thing about Hyborian is it really is like men at their peak. But what if it's these women who are literally on the cusp of womanhood, and it is, it's kind of Buffy.
I was picking up a lot of Buffy vibes with our cast here. I really like the cohesion that we have with this cast as well, and the way that the characters have developed. Like just looking at the top two panels here, we are almost like negative images of each other here. I have black straight hair, and you have white curly hair, and I'm like super fucking pale.
I was in the middle somewhere.
And yeah, because like this character, like I pitched Indira, as a different type of healing cleric. I love the surprise, because I don't like to know everything that's going to happen with the character. Like, I like the surprise that a GM throws in. And we had joked about, like certain things, and the way that Una is, and the gods don't exist, and the fact that, because I had made a joke about, what if I am my own god, and it was kind of funny, but then like he ran with it. And so like, no, you have these powers. And I was like, yeah, magic's not a thing, but as a cleric, it kind of worked with the story he's trying to tell. So, like I'm seeing her change from her being like this mousy, like 20 something that's just trying to just be with her friends, heal her friends, whatever. And she's slowly starting to realize, okay, maybe I just got to embrace whatever the hell is going on and go with the flow. And because she's lost so many friends along the way, and she's a little jaded right now.
Most of them are named Eska.
And most of them are fuzzy Eska.
Yep. Most of them are Eskas, and the one dude that she finally got it on with died. His heart exploded, which hurt her whole feelings. But like if you saw the last episode, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the last episode, so she's decided that she's one of the people that her glyph is the death symbol. So it makes sense because my character's spells and powers are not just healing. There's things like necrotic damage that she can do, and she can turn undead and stuff like that or whatever. So like it's kind of fun. Like it's surprising to me too is how it's going along, and I was like, oh shit, she really is about to be like a whole ass god, like like a whole one, like a whole because like I'm not gonna lie, when she showed up and her name is Undira and she had her face, I was like, oh, this is some single white female,
right? Single white
ever
female
seen it
stuff.
And but I saw you in a vision, and my kid's like, I'm 21. How, lady? How? You're old enough to be my mother, like. But it's great. Like it's great. So
yeah, I like it. Yeah, we have no idea where this story is going.
No,
honestly, yeah. And I would say for it being a Savage Moon, I was promised a lot more death.
Do you not remember? It was because the dinosaur came and went so fast.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
I think part of it is because our audience does like to throw out those inspires.
Awesome. As much as y'all like, as much as the Patreon saints love to cause chaos, y'all have been super great and have been inspiring us to do shenanigans, and it's been great because it has happened in interesting ways with our inspirations, like me exploding something with a single hit of my axe, of my warhammer thing or whatever.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that was interesting. I was like, oh snap.
The healing powers of RPGs. Yeah, I know a lot of people who have stories that are like very similar, that discovering that you're queer because of it's my character that's interested in girls. It's not me, right? But then you're like, oh no, it is me.
I want to blame so many other things for why I'm queer. So many other things.
So many other things named Angelina Jolie. So many things.
Can we talk about the mummy, Brendan Fraser?
The mummy.
That whole cast is just a bisexual dream.
Right. And that was I did the mummy test. Look at these pictures. Who are you interested in? And I'm like, just the dudes, but I want to be her.
Yes. Yes. I get it. She's like the dream librarian.
That's like right up my alley.
Yeah.
The dream librarian. All things are possible through RPG. All things. So it's for me, and Tanya, you as well. Like through the theater and a lot of improv, it's so many characters that I have been in my life.
Yeah.
It's such a broad spectrum. And one thing I try to do with D&D is push myself to try a new thing that I haven't done before. Right. So with Loon, it was a drug-addled, half orc, but a healer who was not your typical healer, right? Or with Kazu, that was like basically me. Come on, let's be honest.
I'm like, that was Mab. That was
basically me. Only she's a little bit meaner than I am, which I really didn't see coming. So,
how much do you love it when something about your character, like you just didn't see it coming?
Didn't see it coming. Yeah.
Because I know people who like will write full on like pages and pages and pages of a document about backstory and who their character is and like whatever. And I'm like, I go in and depending on the game, a framework. And that framework might be more established in one game than in another. But I try not to have a lot of those ideas. And that's the improv in me. I don't know if I have siblings until it comes out of my mouth in a moment, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I like that because I feel like I'm getting to explore that character, learn about that character along with everybody else.
It's like the answers are already there.
You just roll with it.
And yeah.
Okay, we have a couple of questions.
Do we have questions?
One was, have you all seen those TikToks of the woman who loves Brendan Fraser? Yeah.
The one woman? Wait, the one woman?
There's a specific one.
I think it's
her.
Oh, is there?
She's very specific with her love. I'm gonna have to find her on my thing and send it to her. But she's very she stands out.
Yes,
she stands out. I'm gonna have to try and find it. And then another good question is, how would y'all recommend finding a first or new group to run a campaign or one shot with?
Excellent question. I will field this. There are many ways that one could collect their very own group. I have found groups through meetup.com. I've also posted looking for group at game stores, posting on Facebook, Discord. You find a channel on Facebook or Discord that matches your aesthetic and your region, or if region is not necessary, then get friend of a friend, do a meet and greet first, make sure that everyone is cool and nobody is really annoying.
I also really recommend bringing, there's various versions of it, but the sheet that's basically your like red flags and talk about like what you're okay, because you don't want to end up in a group that is wanting to much like darker, right? And like you don't want like dark traumatizing things.
And like be sure to set up your barriers of what's not okay, like what's triggering and stuff like that. And if you're like, hey, so what kind of aesthetic do you like? And if you're like, well, I'm not okay with this, and if they're if you say this is my hard line and they laugh it off, it's time to find a different group.
I'm gonna throw this one Facebook group. Let's see if I can. Actually, it depends on who the actually. I say actually all the time. Like,
why are you?
But unironically,
when you paste, what is this? Oh, because you can't do links.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't think it's gonna work.
Paste it in the private chat, and I'll copy it over.
It is a group on Facebook, and it's a big one, but a lot of people will like post that they're looking like in a particular town or whatever, and it is women, non-binary, trans men. They're about to be changing the name, so don't let the name throw you. So it is very much no cis het males are in that group. So if you very particularly are more comfortable not being in groups that have them, I play in lots of mixed games and whatever, but I know some people do have issues. That is a great place to look.
Nice.
I
would say, what are your red flags? But I'm kind of like, I don't want to talk about that.
No, that's well, we can do that in a private thing to like help, people so we don't go out to that. It might trigger. Yeah.
We could do it on Discord.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to trigger people by talking about my shit.
Yeah. There was some, here's the one. Who would I want to play D&D with? Celebrity? You're going to laugh, but I want to say the cast of Supernatural.
I do it.
I do not laugh. That would be great.
Them do it. Them what?
I don't know.
Castiel. Yeah, Misha Collins. Just, it's not because for any sort of fangirl reason, but because they are interesting personalities, and I've seen them, even Mark Shepard, who is like so jaded and bitter. I kind of want to share a Mark Shepard story that did not happen to me.
Oh, all right.
I'm going to go acquire some food and wine, but I will keep you in my ear so you can talk.
So every year I do the greatest international scavenger hunt. It's called Gish.
Gish.
One of my Gish teammates from Team Cthulhu, she's a burlesque performer, and her daughter does the beauty pageant things, Little Miss beauty pageants, just because she wants to like compete with her mother in the glamour aspect of things. And it's actually, I did the whole tongue in cheek going, really? But they're both supernatural fans. This little girl, Piper, her name's Piper. She's like, I hold my hand out and you can't see how far up off the ground it is, but she's like super tiny. She's older than she looks, but she's just this tiny thing with big bushy hair. She gets up there to ask Mark Shepard a question. And if you've ever seen the show Supernatural, you'll know what Crawley, the king of hell, sold his soul to get. And so this little girl, she comes up there and she's like, hello, Mr. Shepard. And he's like, you get points for calling me Shepard and not Crawley. And then she's like, I just have one question. What did you sell your soul for? And the audience is losing it because everybody knows he sold his soul for a little bit more bump into junk, right? He sold it to everyone's losing it. He's losing it. The cast on stage is losing it. And he doesn't know how to tell a little girl that he sold his soul so that he can have a bigger penis. And this little girl nailed the timing of it, because just as the laughter starts to calm down, she's like, I'm just kidding. I know what you sold your soul for. And then they lose it again. And then she's like, and by the time the second wave of laughter comes down, she's like, I just want to know, if you had a pet, what kind of pet would it be? And he's like, I don't even answer. He's like, I don't know, a hamster. And she's like, okay, thank you. And everyone's like this little girl, she totally played that guy so hard. And I believe there is a video out there. I'm going to see if I can find it. Oh,
I love kids that have natural comedic timing.
Oh, well, see, her mom's a performer, and that little girl is, it's.
My kid has natural comedic timing, and it was real cute when he was little, but now he's 19, so But he definitely still makes me laugh a lot. Like,
oh man,
kids are great. I love it. Oh, bye. Thank you for being here.
Who's leaving?
Sky.
Oh, bye, Sky. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh.
I know. I'm having mine's it looks like it doesn't move and then it'll suddenly jump. So I think I'm having some internet issues.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this video. I know it exists.
I don't know who I'd want to play with because there's so many people that I'm I'd be generally speaking, I trying to I like the experience of playing with different people because everybody's bringing something different and new to the table. Everybody has a different play style. There have definitely been, people I don't like playing with. You don't like actually. I struggle with rules lawyers. It's great that you know the rules a lot, but please stop fighting the DM on everything. The
yeah,
DM,
that's a good point. Don't fight the DM.
And so people who do that a lot and interrupt the game to fight the DM, I say that as a person who likes to argue with my husband whenever he's DMing though. So I'm just tattling on myself a lot tonight and I should probably stop.
Oh my God, I found the video.
I'm back. Oh, you found it? Yes.
Okay, you don't have to watch this now, but you can watch this later. And this little child, Piper, her name is Piper.
You keep saying yes, and I keep forgetting what show I'm on.
Oh, sorry, my bad. What? Oh my God! Speaking of yes, we have to bring back our animals. We have to do the cute creatures.
I kind of want to ask Paolo to give us some time to bring that show here to Nat 21 because Yas is rap.
I miss my little Lynx. What was it? Bobcat?
What show is this?
No, she was a Lynx. So before I was on Nat 21, I was in a group called YAS, YAAS, Your Average Adventuring Show. You can still find the shows on YouTube, and our Facebook page is still active. And it was all femmes and thems, very queer. I was the token straight person. I'm always the token straight person. And it was we did D&D and it was fun, but we had some one shots. So one of the things we did was one shots. And so May and I have done a couple of one shots. We did a Halloween one. It was like Victorian low grade horror that we did. And then May came on for the second part, a revisit to a one shot that we did, where imagine, if you will, it's North America. It is the age of sort of westward expansion, but instead of there being humans on Earth, it's all sentient mammals and such, right? So everybody is animals in this little western town, like maybe somewhere in like the mountains of Eastern California or something like that. And so my character is a little chipmunk who has anxiety and works at the general store and talks really fast and is really polite and is very nervous all the time. And then May came in and was playing this Lynx from the big city. So she was coming in, had bought one of the shops. So posh.
I came in as a clothier. So I was bringing fashion to the town. So I arrived on the train. Very, very. What's that? What was that show? That old Western show, Ponderosa. But it was like she was like all frills and whatever, and she arrived on the train, and she's like a whole. She has like a whole
very like Green Acres
train cart of yes. And then she had like a whole train car of just luggage and stuff, and her store wasn't ready. And it was like a huge thing. And then she was actually hitting on the himbo water buffalo.
I think it was just a bison. I think it was a bison.
A bison,
yeah. It was a bison.
It was so funny though.
He had that he was like all slow miss, like yes.
Hi, Miss.
Miss, can I? Yeah, it was real sweet.
Miss, can I help you, Miss? I was like, Miss, would you like to dance at the barn dance? It was so funny.
It was so great, and I love that world. So it is Haven's Rest is the name of the town and the name of the games, and I would love to bring it back because we were talking about the next one being the iconic beach trip. We all go to the beach, all our characters, which will be great because we have an otter who is afraid of water. And then my character who is just afraid of everything. Yeah. He lives inland because he doesn't like being by the water. And he's a tinkerer. He makes stuff, but makes stuff overcomplicated.
Yes. It's very I loved playing with him. It was just so funny because the overcomplicatedness of everything. And she was like, can you just get it done without this? So she's like, we have to go through all this. All of this. There has to be a whole pulley system.
I just need a thing to hang clothes on. It doesn't need to cycle through.
It doesn't need to be steam powered.
Yeah, hold on now. Let's not get too hasty.
Oh my god!
And then, so Annika played my boss, who is the general manager, the store manager of the general store, who is a sloth. Which is why, he needed a stock boy who was much faster.
But so you guys know, I know May knows, but I don't know if Tanya knows the sheer number of puppets that I have.
Puppets?
Yes. Yes.
Puppets. I have so many. I would be so into this game as an NPC. I would be there.
God. I think it'd be great. So we just got to get Paolo to carve out some space and then talk to
our
Sarah.
Schedule has gotten so full.
And the other great thing about the Haven's Rest is the literal opposite of Savage Moon. So
yeah.
the first episode, it was us at the fall fair, and literally the only tense moment was when the new French baker in town entered the baking competition and was standing in line next to the woman who had and I say woman, I think she was like a rabbit, had won all the years previous, right? And so a professional French baker in this little town, and this little moment ended with them trading recipes. So that's how tense it gets. When May's character came in, the whole thing was that everybody thought she was coming in 2 weeks. And so basically we had a barn raising. The whole town gets together and builds her store. So it's all real wholesome.
It's real wholesome. It's just a real
so
wholesome. It was so wholesome. I was just like, this is so great. Because I was just I was like, what game was I in the middle of during that? I was playing my tiefling, and with everything death, doom, and despair, and this was just so wholesome. It
is. It's like a great little break. Just go and live in this little town and eat croissants and.
And then they were like, "Here's a French bake. Here's my grandfather's bakery." And she was French.
My grandfather. He is a baker, and I have my bakery.
And she was like, it was so funny because they were like, "Oh my God, you understand the finer things," and they were bring her these French pastries for the bar. It was so funny. It was so wholesome.
I understand the finer things. I understand the finer things.
But it was funny because I think
I have a question. What animal would you be?
Yes.
It depends. What kind of character do they want to flesh out their party?
Yeah,
I could be.
It's not really a party.
We literally just live in this town.
It's just a town, girl. You can be whatever.
Wow.
I literally played myself as a lynx because I was a costumer.
I mean, part of me would I love Battle Sloth. Battle Sloth is very near and dear to me.
We have a sloth though. So,
have you met Battle Sloth?
You could be a faster sloth.
Battle Sloth is a psycho. Look at this.
I love Battle Sloth. Look at the armor that was made for Battle Sloth.
It is largely mammals. I think that we might have a tortoise or something, but pretty much.
Yeah, but there was no birds. There were no birds. There were
there is, because the town gossip is a goose.
Oh, it's a goose. Okay, so there's no bugs. There were no.
Yeah, there's no bugs, and it's some weird stuff.
No
we
fish.
have sentient horses,
No
but
aquatic.
then there's also horses that aren't. We don't think
but
about
there's no
it.
aquatic. Yeah. You just let it happen.
That's cute. A cat.
That'd be cute. Yeah.
That'd be cute. Have a cat.
I like cats.
You can join the feline community that my lynx will eventually raise and take over the town. Now she'll be like, oh my God. Yeah.
But a mouse would be fun.
Just for cats.
A mouse would be fun. Oh, well, then you could join my tiny little rodent army that I say army.
Yeah.
I could be a beaver. That's very industrial.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I see what you got
so
there.
the thing is that we are actually, the big town over is the mining town, and it's run by beavers.
Yeah.
Beavers are miners?
Yeah, they're a logging town. It's a logging town.
Yeah.
And there are 2 beavers who live in town. They are a queer couple. They are adorable.
Yeah, it's a queer. They're so good. It's a queer.
Okay, you guys. This is the winning answer.
All right.
I'd be a bat. Yeah.
I like it.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, be a bat.
Please.
Be a bat. I like it.
Be a bat that's a cross. Octopus, I don't think we did sea creatures. I think because that's where a lot of the food
we eat a
from,
lot of
because
water things.
Need to be an eavesdropping gopher.
Oh, that would be hysterical.
What you talking about?
Or a squirrel.
Right.
I could be a squirrel, really strung out, hey guys, just have another cup of coffee here. Just
That would make you very much like my character. He's set to 11.
An assassin owl. That's good. These are great, you guys.
But remember, we're wholesome. We don't have assassins.
We're wholesome. We're
You could
wholesome.
be pest control.
Pest
Yeah.
control.
Remember, we're not.
So you could be an
We're
owl
not.
who's pest control.
They
Yeah.
basically
Mhm.
are. They basically
They
are.
really are.
And
It's
by
true.
pests, I mean
I have an
chickens.
owl story that happened at a Ren fair.
Oh, nice.
Since y'all gotta ask us questions or we're just gonna be
I think
Yeah.
they are
random
cool with
talking
it.
with us. So until recently I was on a cast at Sherwood Forest Fair, which is in Central Texas. But before that I actually worked in a shop. It was a tea shop. Shock. And we were at that time across from the bird stage. So there's a new bird stage. So it's not like the shop is not there. The old bird stage isn't there, but there was a Eurasian eagle owl. So these are real big owls named Artemis.
Oh, Jesus.
And we watch this show
To the
all
Google.
the time. You know, we don't think much about it because it happens 4 times a day right in front of us. We practically have it memorized, right? And so while the show is going on, my husband and my friend's child are outside the shop throwing goslings back and forth. We had a Whedon themed tea. So we had goslings that would be juggled. And they were throwing these beanbag ducks basically
Baby
back and
geese.
forth.
Yeah.
And this owl takes off from its perch in the middle of the show and
Oh, no.
snags one of these that got dropped like right by my friend's kid's foot. And because I thought it was a great idea, some mom part of my brain, I like marched over to this bird of prey and I was like, drop it now. And then it like clearly was like, oh no, they don't want me to have this, but I really want to have it. And so he flew back to the stage, the side that was empty basically. And then of course all the bird folk were like trying to like get him wrangled, and he was not having any of that. He even like did this thing where he like took it and he like tucked it up under himself and then like started hopping backwards like
I got nothing. I don't know. There's nothing here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I don't know what you have. So then when they were almost like had him, he just takes off with this again and flies into the bar. It's like right next to the and the bar.
That sounds like a joke. An owl flies into a bar.
It was like, and everybody in the bar, like, because it's between them and the door out the back. So they jump over the bar, like out of it. Because this thing is big. Like, go look up a Eurasian eagle owl. Like,
I
big.
did. It's huge. It's obnoxious. It should not be a thing. It's a dinosaur.
It is real big. And so it was having none of this, like being wrangled. But finally, they were able to get him, but they couldn't get him to drop this gosling. So it ended up in the cage with him. And we were like, whatever. They're like $4. Like, we'll get another gosling. This owl was super pissed though, because once that door was closed and he tore it open and found out that it was beans and not meat, you could literally hear the anger.
The disdain.
You've
I
now
bet he was saying it
fluent in bird profanity. I now know how to swear in bird.
Right? But when we came back the next season, bean sprouts were growing in his like little enclosure. So
really?
That's
yeah.
You know what's a creepy looking bird? Hold on, let me see if I can. I gotta find it.
The harpy eagle or something.
Yes. That thing should not exist. That thing is a dinosaur. That thing looks like it carries small children off into the woods. Like
you know who looks creepy? The
cassowaries.
shoe-billed stork.
Oh yeah, them too. Like actual storks are huge. Cassowaries freak me out. They look like dinosaurs. They flat out look like dinosaurs.
So they got this spiky head.
A cassowary.
I'm looking. I don't even know how to spell that.
Speaking of weird birds, secretary birds. Might I say?
Girl, I love them. I love secretary.
They look like Eton students with bad hair days.
I love how fancy they look. Have you seen Agretsuko? Have you seen the anime Agretsuko?
No.
Okay, so it's all animals. It's it's kind of wholesome until she starts metal singing. Anyway, so like Agretsuko is a red panda. She's a red panda, yeah. And then like her boo thing is like a wolf that's like crushing on her. But like everybody in this world are animals. So like the HR people are a gorilla who's like thicker than a Snicker, and then a secretary bird that is just flaunting it. So they have a walk that they do together where they're like this, and the secretary's bird's legs are just like So that's the only reason I like Secretary Bird. Yes, she looks like that.
Yes,
with
Sky
makeup.
King's Birds of Prey. Yep. Yes, and that's what I mean. Like, look at them now. Go look at like what the Eaton uniform looks like. To me, they look like they're wearing Eaton uniforms and like have a bad hair day.
Uniform. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Now you can't unsee it.
Dang it, Tanya. Oh my God, Sally's right though. Are you talking about Jersey mosquitoes? They could carry you away. Look, y'all's mosquitoes are no joke, because I'm gonna tell y'all. When I went, like, I thought I was at home for a second. I was like, what the heck is that? Oh, that's a mosquito? That looked like home. That looked like a swamp mosquito.
Right?
I was like, what is happening? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Sky King's birth. Yeah,
so that's who does the show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Artemis.
Is that
now I can't unsee it. Now all I can think is Eaton.
Sorry.
Ooh, but their old school uniforms are pretty lit though. The old school ones.
Right. That's the one that most looks like
black.
It's got the yellow stocking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like the old school though. But I love finding there's some black and white photos from back in the day where they're just like, oh my God, that is so
okay,
goofy.
So you and me will make Eaton uniforms and like Secretary Bird headdresses.
Yes, I'm here.
Who here has seen
the mall? I guess I don't know where
bed knobs and broomsticks. If you've seen Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, there's a scene where they're on the island of Azeroth, or where the medallion of Azeroth is. The Secretary Bird is the secretary of the king. It's an actual secretary. It's
That's
very
awesome.
cute. And his hair keeps going, and he keeps going, ugh, which I can't do because I got my little spiky
I love
thing
that
on.
movie though. I love that movie so much.
I live for that movie. That movie is so pivotal. You live that movie, BLC Blondie? Yes. Oh my God. It is such.
See, look. No, I just looked in the Discord and it said pick an Artemis the Owl for reference. I will pass.
No, not even for reference. Stuff. That is the bird. That bird that picture is the bird.
No. Okay, now I'm
in the story.
No, see, I'm gonna be real honest. And y'all, if y'all don't know my humor yet, I apologize in advance. See, stuff like that, you don't catch a black person out in that audience, because that looks like some shit that should carry you away. I am not trying to be in a horror movie. I'm not trying to die. Like that is a bird that I cannot get with. Why does that thing look like?
And something in my head said it was a good idea to stand 2 feet in front of it and demand it drop a thing.
Girl, that's the mom in you. You got
I somehow mysteriously still have all my fingers.
I tell you, if I would have seen that happen, I was like, I guess that belongs to that bird. Like,
wow.
He can have that. That's too much. That's too much.
You have dozens of shots. Oh wow.
That's too much bird. That's a dinosaur.
Substitutionary locomotion is the power. Yeah. Oh, here's a fun fact. The name Myrtleine is a tribute to Eglantine. See how you shine. I sing that every time I type her name in.
I love it.
Yeah. Eglantine.
Okay, I know we're gonna go back to the show a lot here for a second. I can speak. I can word. I really enjoy the dynamic that the three of us have. So I came in knowing May just from the little bit that I gotten to work with her through Yas, right? And chatting. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't know Mab at all.
Yeah,
Right?
that's fine.
I knew
That's,
of
you don't
Mab.
need to.
Let me explain. I knew of Mab. Like I like seen her, but I didn't know her. And I was like, it's always weird when you're starting a show or starting a game, and it's you don't know
Right.
people,
Because you
and
don't
so,
know.
but it ended up clicking like from the get-go.
Yeah.
At the gate.
Oh yeah.
Yay!
Like, you
Goblonia is such a good game.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love doing goblin stuff. I'm looking forward to being able to play that. So
Yes. Did he
I
talk to you
myself
about
am
that?
a goblin.
Because we are talking about that. That's a conversation that's going to happen. So, but right now we're sticking with it till the end of the Kickstarter. Because right now we're doing a Kickstarter. It has met the goals. We're just trying to hit the stretch goals and get extra art and all the other awesome stuff.
Oh, thank
Twofer?
you.
Twofer. Who's Twofer?
So
me.
So are we gonna be doing, like, because I still haven't, like, whatever, and I know that I have Gothic Horror Gaming coming up on the 28th because we're about to do our last season, last run, because, like, there's only 4 things for the Victorian stuff. So we're on the cusp of the 1900s, ladies. We're at 1893. So I don't know what's going on yet. But Team Shady for Goblonia?
I think so, but he, like I said, he is holding off till after the Kickstarter. Then there's gonna be a week off or something, and then so during that time, so the Kickstarter I think ends the last week of October, so 2 weeks. So he's gonna start doing the casting call. Because that's how we do here in Net 21. We do casting calls because we are professionals. Yep, there it is. Thank you. It is October 28th. Then we're going to take like a week or something off as a celebration and kind of do an AMA or whatever. And then I think he's going to start up the next season with some changed out casts. And we have some people queued up.
So yeah, in the chat is the answer to the who Twofer is. It is moi. It is my character in Nuked, which is the other show that Mike runs.
That plays opposite of Net 21 Adventures.
Yeah, I know. I was like, really? My life making me pick.
Well, I mean, you can come back and watch.
Yeah, you can always come back and watch.
But it's more fun to like live participate in the chat.
And I should say, Twofer is not regular cast. So Twofer is like a surprise guest.
Right.
You never know when she's showing up.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey, surprise Twofer!
Yep.
Twofer is always a good name. I used to play Changeling, the tabletop game Changeling, a couple different versions.
Right, well,
girl.
The Lost and the Dreaming. But some characters that I created for the Lost, one of them was a conjoined, like they were 2 people that True Fae merged into one. And so they had like 4 legs, 4 arms, and their whole body was like joined, and one side
like
was
an
male
Etten, kind of.
Yeah, but they were like, their nickname was Twofer.
Twofer. So Twofer was the name. So when you guest on Nuked, you are given a character. So I was given the sheet. So it was Mike cooked up the character. Mike had an idea for this character, but then I was like, yeah, but I do what I want.
Right. I do what I want.
Do what I want.
Oh my God. I'm looking at my calendar because I was looking at how soon that Gothic Horror Gaming will be starting.
And
I just realized I have a show Saturday. I have a show the next Saturday. I have a show I have Halloween. And then I have a con the first week. Oh my
Ugh.
God, I am dumb. I'm so dumb.
You need to start scheduling sleep on your calendar.
I don't know if I can. I don't know what sleep is actually. If
It's
anybody
that
can
thing
teach
your
me
body
such things,
made you do earlier today.
yeah. I mean, I did do it earlier today. I just didn't think
light
about
coma.
it because I have like 2 burlesque shows and then a live stream of a game / performance thing. It's a whole other thing where it's going to be like performing mixed with D&D. And then I have NecoCon in Virginia where I'm judging costumes. And then I'm good. And then December I have my surgery.
Ooh. What do you do? Changeling tea.
Ooh. I gotta
What is
order
that?
some of your tea, Tanya.
It is. I was like, you mentioned stuff. I'll bring it up. It is an oolong. It's a milky oolong because changelings are sometimes known as milklings, right? And it's an oolong that has an innate semi-sweet flavor already in it. And the one great thing about it is it's really like tightly rolled. So when you make the tea, it like unfurls into leaves that are like the size of my thumb. So it's very magic. But then it's got mochi candy inside it, like in it, which like melts as soon as the hot water hits it. So it's a sweet cup, and the whole thing is that the tea that goes in dry is like not at all what it looks like when it's wet. So I like the idea of it literally changing.
I love it.
I enjoy drinking tea, but I have become daunted by tea culture.
Why are you daunted?
What? Yeah. What? Talk to me. Talk to me, man.
Talk to me.
Are we talking tea? We'll talk tea.
We'll talk tea. It's all right.
So, I had a person in my house that had a kettle, an electric kettle that had the temperatures based
different
on
temperatures.
what
I
kind
have
of
one.
tea.
Yeah.
Based on what kind of tea. And I had another roommate that had a very specific way of straining the tea and the tea thing. I'm like, I'll enjoy it if you make a tea for me.
Is it gong fu? It's probably gong fu. I wouldn't worry about it. Honestly, get the kettle. And then, like, when you see it says oolong, set it on oolong and don't and then.
I already have an electric kettle. It does off.
Here's why I say if you're going to have tea that's not black tea, if you have that, just get black tea. Don't get green tea or anything like that. And here's why. Every tea has a steeping time and temperature that it does best at. So black teas, you can do that boiling. It's 212. Perfect. Your kettle can do that. But if you're going to do anything like green tea or oolongs or whites, they need less temperature, like a lower temperature. And if you put them in higher temperature water, it pulls out flavor from the leaf that is not good. So you end up with like people will be like, my green tea tastes like seaweed, probably because you put it in boiling water, and so now it tastes like seaweed or broccoli, right? So you want to do it at you want to do it at 175, and so that so 175 for white, yellow, or green. Yellow is a subset of white, but is really good. You want to leave those white and yellow in for a long time, like 7 minutes. You don't want to this is the other thing that Americans are very confused by with tea. If you want stronger tea, put in more leaf. Don't steep it longer. That just makes it gross. It just makes it bitter. It doesn't bring out any more of the flavor. It doesn't bring out any more of the caffeine. It's basically at 4 to 5 minutes, it's pulled out everything it's going to pull out. And at this point, you're just making it better. So if you want like an easy setup, just get black tea, get a teapot that has the infuser in it. So you're just dumping the leaf in the infuser. Do you not know? Like, what?
You're getting way too technical.
All right, y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Okay. There's so many things. So many
what
things.
I'm talking about.
honestly, it's really not that bad. Like my mother-in-law taught me a lot about teas, and it's like it's not horrible. It's just kind of like I keep a cheat sheet, and I will admit that when you do steep it at the right temperature, it makes a huge difference. But I keep a cheat sheet like on my fridge. Like I have a little thing I just
Oh
put
yeah,
on
I sell magnets that are cheat sheets.
Yeah.
Teapot.
Ooh.
Infuser.
Yep.
Put leaf in here. Put it in the teapot. Pour the water in. Set your timer. When it's done, pull the infuser out. Pour the tea in a cup.
Done. Yep.
Do you sell all of this together? Can I just buy?
You can always come back to this video and listen to those 4 instructions.
You make it sound so complicated.
But it's true. I've met people that are like, I don't like tea, right? They'll be like, I don't like tea. It's too bitter or it's too weak or whatever. And I'm like, let me make you a cup.
Exactly. Like you got to do it right. Like there's a way to do things. And like, you know, when I first started doing tea, I too felt daunted. I did feel daunted. But you know, it is what it is. And excuse me, I'm like burping. But once you get like a hang of it, and like Tanya said, there's a cheat sheet. You know, once you get to that, like it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. I have a cute little teapot. You know, I boil my water to a certain temperature. I have an infuser thingy. And like, even if you just want a personal cup, like I have a personal cup with an infuser thing built into it that you can just,
That's what I
you know, when I don't want to make
buy stuff that has infusers right in it.
Yeah. And you don't like, if I don't want to make a whole pot, like if it's something special that I want, you know, like that's not like, you know, whatever, but it's really not that bad. Like once you get it into your like muscle memory, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I can make my caffeine even when I need caffeine. That's true.
I mean, I have a magic device called the Ulangi. It is magic. I push one button. Waga. Coffee.
This is what I do. I make my tea like the night before. I make a thing of tea the night before so that when I wake up in the morning, I just pour it in a cup and stick it in the microwave. And that way I can caffeinate and then like worry about making a decent like cup later.
Like really, it's just like you hold on whoa. You spent $1,100 on tea.
I respect that, my good sir.
I know. I'm like, I mean,
I hear where
ditto,
you're going with
but
this.
I own a tea business.
Sir David Percival is awesome. Food is like he's so a wizard with all kinds of anything edible.
I'm gonna tell you, Sir David Percival is such a great person because it was my first Ren Fair and Forever at New Jersey this year. And I was not prepared. And he hooked me up with my first like horn-made stein. He told me where to get it. And I bought my thing, my little horn hollow thing. And then he bought me as a gift my first little like leather hook for my cup so I could walk around and show me where, you know, I was like, everybody was just so great. Like he was super like, here's where you get this, you need this. I'm like, thank God.
And then
so I'm not shocked.
And then they made us
dinner. And I stuffed my face.
Yeah. And not only like he's the fanciest cook. And when we were doing the auctions, and I still want to talk to you about those, Sir David Percival. One of the reasons I'm going to have to kind of pull back from the number of shows I'm in this upcoming season is because I have so much stuff to do on the back end of Net 21 Adventures. And one of those things is working with Sir David Percival, who wrote a lot of recipes based on our shows.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yes. And I would like to kind of like format it and hit them up for a few additional recipes and drinks, cocktails.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mocktails and then
tea tails.
Tea tails.
Tea tails. Ooh.
I actually did. If you go to if you go to Tabletop Tea's Facebook, there's videos, and one of them I make tea tails and try them live.
See, exactly. Exactly. I think tea would make a lovely mixer for some cocktails.
It does for certain
Actually,
things. It does really good.
No, I went to a very fancy bar back home that did a lot of craft cocktails, like traditional cocktails and stuff, and they had some tea infused cocktails that were amazing.
Yeah.
It had tea as the base, and it was delicious. It was delicious.
Because if you think about it, like anything that's got like orange bitters in it, you can use Earl Grey.
Yeah. There was a tea. I think technically it's called a London Fog or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Once
yeah,
you mix-
yeah.
But they had
Is that
mixed
gin?
it with some type of no. It's a London Fog is like tea and
A
milk or
London
something,
Fog
or
is
chai.
Earl Grey with like an Earl Grey latte, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
it doesn't have gin or anything in there?
You can
No,
put
it's
shit
not a
now, but
boozy
it's
drink.
it's
I
just
mean,
like
you
a
like a coffee with a tea. It's a coffee with a tea.
a dirty
but-
dirty tea.
Yeah, dirty. Yeah, and then but the thing is, like they picked a liqueur that was a great pairing with it and put it in it. Oh my god, they called it the Picard. Hold on, because they had Earl Grey in it. They called it the Picard, and I was like,
Earl Grey, hot.
hot.
It was a tea Earl Grey, hot.
Hot, yes. But
Oh, my
I
goodness.
think that's why as a child I started drinking Earl Grey as a child, and my mom was like, "What the hell is this about?" And I was like, "Captain Picard, mommy."
I also have a Picard tea.
There
Stop
you go.
it. Where is that on your website? Hold on, I was just on your website.
It's on my website. Yeah, and
where is
it's Earl
that?
Grey with lavender and cream.
Where is this? What section
Under
is this
black.
under?
Yeah, you can if you look under type, it's under black. Under
Okay.
fandoms, it's under miscellaneous because I only have.
Oh, it's under Okay,
Because I only have
Well, let
one
me
Star
just-
Trek, so
that's unacceptable. Oh, there it is.
I have so many teas. Like I have probably about 30 to 40 tea concepts on the back burner,
Oh,
but it
wow.
costs me
Oh yeah,
approximately $80 to start up a tea.
Oh,
I believe it.
Because like I have an idea for it, and then I have to figure out the actual recipe for it. And so like just the amount of ingredients that I have to order and I like play with it kind of thing, and then I have to take into account all the packaging and whatever. So yeah, it's about $80 to start up a tea.
Yeah, I'm here for this Picard. I'm looking like.
all right. I'm
really
gonna
good.
order the Mimic gift set right now.
Oh god.
What tea would you recommend I get?
Okay. Well, tell me what flavors you like. Well, obviously a black tea.
Something with caffeine. Oh,
Okay,
because I'm
dwarf.
lazy.
Get dwarf. It tastes like Nutella. It tastes like Nutella.
Nutella, yeah. What is the gnome?
Gnome is a raspberry lemonade green tea. So you would have to steep it at a temperature your kettle will. You could heat your kettle and then wait
it cool.
15 minutes
Yeah.
for it to cool.
Okay, now where would I see the list of all of these delicious looking teas? Let's see.
You can
here.
go like the list for buying for Mimic or for the Mimic thing.
Yeah. I mean, I
Is it
see
not
the
there?
list. No, I see the list, but I want to see the description.
Oh,
of
you have
each
to
one.
go. Yeah, it's a lot to put in the description. So it's like you got to find them on the website and like read. Which one are you looking at? I could inspire.
Ash, they went ahead and spent it, so you get to add a. You get to add it. You get to add.
reroll.
I feel like we all deserve Mimic mugs because we fought a Mimic, which is the first
I
time
know
I
that's
fought
kind of
Mimics
why I'm
for-
doing it.
ever.
But I also like this D20. Is there any
There
way
you
you
go.
can make this a D21 medallion on the tea strainer?
I can't. They're all already made.
I figured.
After they're
I have to
gone,
ask.
maybe?
But it's got your steeping guidelines, which has really
Yes.
got me intrigued.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Goblin. Which one's the best tea? Let's
Why
ignore
are you
the whole...
asking? Are you asking me to choose between my children? So
Yep.
yeah, you'll get
Yes,
them.
yes. Oh,
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm on this website. Like, I gotta wait till I get paid before I go on a shopping spree because I'm gonna tell you real now. Right.
I mean, I do. There's the sample sizes and stuff like that, so you don't have to like go like balls to the wall or anything.
No. I love tea. No.
Okay, wait a minute.
No.
Wait, whoa.
No.
Hold on a second. This is the description of the gnome tea. Gnome is a pink mist inspired treat. Gnomes are delightful creatures who enjoy a breath of fresh pink mist, a challenge, and a harmless pink mister too.
Oh my God, I love it.
Okay, I modified it a little bit, but it basically said that.
I'm over here like Tanya said that you don't have to go balls to the wall, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking over here at the bespoke blends.
Yeah, if you're getting married or you want to get a blend for your D&D party or birthday party.
I'm selfish for me.
Oh, okay.
Like,
that
for
too.
me.
Yeah, that's what most
Like
people
me.
get for.
I mean, honestly, like it's for me. Like it me. Like I'm gonna have to probably once you know what, this might be my birthday present for myself next year for my 35th, to just be like, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm turning 35.
You know, I like chive.
Oh wait,
you like chive?
What's the chive tea?
Melange. It's a pretty standard chai. It's got fruit in it. And then Gangrel is, speaking of White Wolf, is a chocolate chai.
Ooh, F all y'all. That's what I want. Oh, it's not.
And then Crowley is like an apple pie chai.
Oh.
Yeah, we just
You have
like
a
taking this moment
Magnus?
in this AMA for all of us to be shopping. Is that what's happening?
Like we're just shopping. We're just shopping while we're supposed to be having an AMA, and I'm just planning my 35th birthday party. And
I could actually have a birthday party next year, and I'm thinking I might have a small one because I've skipped, because my birthday, so it's January 8th, is right when rehearsals would start. But since I don't have to be there for rehearsals, I could have a party.
Well, you should do it. See, because like this year I didn't do anything for my birthday. I sat around, was a bum, didn't even make a cake. Like I didn't care this year because I was just like, man. And then it was funny because 2020 was a little weird, and because my birthday's in September. So like I had a very small birthday thing last year, but it was outdoors at my old house. And so I had all these tables set up, and everybody cooked their own food on the grill. So everything was killed. If they did have germs, they touched their own food. They had their own drinks. Yeah, so like they cooked their own food on the grill. They had their own drinks that they brought. The only thing that was shared was the cake. But my mother-in-law put on some gloves and cut up cake that she made. But other than that, but I'm like, maybe next year I'll just like have a tea party and just order like a whole.
So that's what I'm thinking of doing, is doing like having like pedophores and and like little hand sandwiches and whatever. Because the birthday party that I wanted to have when I guess it was like, when was it? I thought I was going to get to have one because I thought that rehearsals was starting on a different weekend. And I had this idea for Brighton Beach, like Brighton Beach in the UK.
Aww.
Basically a whole Brighton Beach theme.
I have a friend who lived there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I still want to do it, but I want to wait until I like the Adventure Zone. So sue me.
No judgment. Adventure Zone? That sounds fun. I love those things.
Right. So yeah, the first teas that I made were the Adventure Zone teas. There are Merle's no longer there. I discontinued it, and Taco it will be discontinued next month. So at the end of this month, that'll be it. Yeah.
Wait, what is Adventure Zone?
The Adventure Zone is a D&D podcast. That's the McElroy brothers and their dad. And so Griffin, who is in the in the balance arc and the stuff that starts, he actually lives here in Austin. And they're great. And you talk about like rapport, like having instant rapport, making a good game kind of thing, right? Well, you're talking about three brothers and their dad. Like the rapport is amazing. And so the first episode is them basically learning D&D with the Fandelver Mines like little box set that you can buy, that you can get. And then but like right off the bat they were already changing stuff because like Griffin reads the name of a character and everybody in like I think it was Justin was like what? And Griffin's like, that's how you know you're in D&D because they have names like blah. He's like, it could be Barry Blue Jeans, like we'll just call him Barry Blue Jeans. And Justin's like, I can remember that. So now that character is like Barry Blue Jeans. And they basically after the first 4 games, Griffin just starts writing his own campaign. Like it's still set in like the Sword Coast area, like with like Neverwinter and stuff like that. But it's a whole thing, and they like these guys took to D&D like fish to water.
I'm here for it. I love when that happens. Like I love when like people just like jump 2 feet in and it's go time, bro. Like it's go time. Like
yeah,
and I play funny,
good chemistry, good storytelling. Yeah.
And it's funny because like on Fridays, I have a Muggle game. That's what I generally say. I have a Muggle game that I play D&D, and it is pure foolishness because we're not on a live stream. We don't have to be that entertaining.
Okay.
But here's the thing though. We're doing the Curse of Strahd campaign.
Yes.
I'm still trying to figure out how we all alive. I'm like literally I talked to a friend of mine who has ran the Curse of Strahd campaign, and we just got out of the castle, and he goes, how are y'all still alive? I was like, stupidity. Sheer stupidity. Like we really thought we were gonna die, but it was literally sheer. The DM is just like, I don't even know how y'all are still here.
Quite frankly, I haven't done Curse of Strahd. I did the original Strahd, and I can tell you that to this day, if I see a bank of thick fog, I'm like,
I freak out.
That's it. That was it.
My friend that runs the game has completely ruined me for fog banks because now. And then it was funny because in game, one of our compatriots just caught on as we went into the castle that Strahd is a vampire. Like she just got it. She goes, wait a minute. Nobody told me he's a vampire. And everybody was like, you didn't get that memo like 4 years ago? Like, and they were like, she goes, nobody said he was a vampire. And I, the smart ass of the group, only comes out at night, has a horde of bats, drinks blood. What about that? Did you not get vampire?
Yeah, like there's a literal checklist.
And she was like,
So you made me think of there's this. I told Mike, I was like, so they do BriCon every year, which is like a little miniature con they do for his brother's birthday. And I was like, I think the next BriCon when it comes up, I really want to have a panel of people who do live games and play games, because one thing that I have noticed like watching the commentary on like Facebook groups of people who are new to the game is they're new to the game because they fell in love with the Adventure Zone or Critical Role or Dimension 20 and started playing. Not they were already playing and then watched these shows because they like D&D. And that when you come at it from that point of view, you kind of have a warped sense of how to D&D, right? Or how to game generally. That, you know, there's this idea that it needs to be super cinematic, that you need to spend hours and hours and hours making a tight campaign if you're the DM, you know, because the Matt Mercer effect kind of thing. That I really want to like have people and talk about how when we do this show, like when I do any of these shows, it's a show. This is not me playing a game. It's a show. It's an improv show that has the framework of the game on it. When I'm playing at home, y'all, I'm a damn fool. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. It's the decisions that I make are not is this the best decision for the game?
Yeah.
Is this the best decision for me?
I have done
is this
some foolishness.
Right.
In my I I literally, like, I ain't gonna lie. My character in my Mogul game is a hoe. She whole life she slept with all kind of nobles just so she could try and get her life one
Did
leg
she
up.
kick those
She's like,
tires?
she kicked all those tires because she's like, if I'm gonna get stuck in Barovia, I'm gonna at least marry up like the noble that I am.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna
real.
kick the right. If I gotta be stuck, I need
like,
to continue
Kicking wagon
my
wheels.
lifestyle. Yeah, she's like, I gotta continue my lifestyle, my dear. But it's funny because the party, somehow our party has turned into like a polycule with 3 of us, and the other one is just like, I'm not getting involved in this. And like it's so funny because like Mab, you know Dana. You know Dana?
Dana
Okay.
Buffet.
You know Dana? Yes,
She's
I play with
freaking
Dana.
amazing
And Sarah
cosplayer.
Joy. Sarah Joy.
Also,
I play with Sarah Joy.
Great dancer. Yep.
And so then I play with Sarah, Dana's husband, Julia. I don't know if you know Julia. Julia used to be a belly dancer, and Julia and Eric, her husband.
Oh yeah.
So
no, I know Julian Holt. No, that's someone else.
What is Julia's last name? They call her Spoon. Anyway, so like all I know is it turned into a polycule of me, Dana, and Sarah, and Dana's husband, who's the other player, and Julia. They're just looking on the outside like, we don't want any part of this because this is too much drama. Because what happened is, y'all about to get some insight on some other foolishness because it's comical stuff I would never do on a streaming show. Things I would never say on a streaming show. So long story short, my character is older because I wanted to play an older character. She was kind of like, you know, like the noble woman that's not married, and her parents were like, girl, you got to get it together and like produce some heirs or something, or we're going to disown you. So she's just like, whatever. And then they got, of course, brought into Barovia Fog. Ooh, whatever. And so like Sarah's player is an elf, and Dana plays what is her character? She's a shapeshifter. I can't remember what she is, but she can change her body and all this stuff. So we're like being stupid. And then at some point, my character's like, well, actually, the elf is actually really sweet or whatever. So she stops hoeing around, and she's trying to like throw hints at the elf, and the elf isn't catching a hint. And then finally he catches a hint, and he starts doing stuff like hiding flowers, and he's a rogue. So he's like doing like, I need to do a stealth roll to hide flowers into her knapsack and all this weird stuff.
Aww.
And then but then Dana's character is like, okay, so I didn't get flowers when we did the nasty. But anyway, so my character slept with Irina's brother on the first day. Like, she was like, I'm gonna stay at the big house. Y'all can sleep in the church, but I'm gonna. And so so we went to the wedding. And it was real awkward because there were the twins my character tried to have a threesome with. There was the guy that she had already slept with. There was Sarah's character, the elf. There were some other elves that she had hit on in passing, and she was just kind of like, oh, this is awkward. And so when they sat down with Strahd, because nobody had a plan. We never discussed the plan of how we're gonna save the damsel. No one.
This is why modules never work for me.
No one ever had a plan. No one discussed the plan. Like literally, the woodcutter, the freaking barbarian, found out literally 5 seconds before we walked in that Strahd was a vampire, and it was like, wait, what? And so we have this dinner, and we're sitting down with Strahd and his right-hand man, Rahadin. And my character's like, he's like, what do you want? Like, you know, Strahd's like, well, I'll give you whatever you want. I was like, I need some recompense for Rahadin slitting my throat. Because when we got into a fight, he literally slit my character's throat wide open. And I still survived. And so now she has a permanent necklace thing that she wears to hide her scar. And she's like, you know, I need some type of apology, some recompense, some type of something to make a girl feel good about herself.
That's a good word. I love that word.
They were like, well, yeah. And he was like, well, do you just want to like marry Rahadin? And then Rahadin was like, I will marry her. And then my character went, wait a minute, whoa. I didn't discover, nope. And then somebody else was like, so if we did, what would you expect? Like, what were your expectations? He's like, well, of course we have to produce children right away. And my character's like, I mean, right away, because I'm not exactly a spring chicken. Because just so you know, I'm like 42, so I'm getting, like whatever. So then like Stra's like, well,
I'm ovulating dust right now. Is really what I'm trying to say.
And so she was like, I mean, I didn't expect that, but okay. And so then Stride was like, Eric is so ignorant. I love it. He's like, well, I would never ask my right hand.
What? Oh no, you went mute.
Oh no, what happened?
I would never ask what?
I know, I would never ask.
One of my AirPods died. So
we'll just fill in the blank for you.
All right. One of my AirPods died, so I had to switch it out. But anyway, so he was like, well, you go get your own home and all this other stuff. And she goes, okay. So then she goes back out, sees Irina's brother who she banged. He was like, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go into this dinner setting. He's going to ask you what you want. I want you to ask for my hand in marriage in front of Rahadin and see what happens. Well, that plan backfired.
I'm sure it fired in exactly the way it was gonna.
Well, I was expecting shenanigans to happen. Instead, he comes out and goes, he has granted me your hand in marriage. And my character went, damn, really? And then the dude was like, really? And I was like, I mean, really? And then so the polycule, the elf, Sarah, was like sitting at the dinner when I said, yo, let's get married. And she goes, I'm sorry. What? The disrespect. And then Dana's character is like, I'm mad. Like, it was. So when we somehow escaped within an inch of our life, what was it? I was like, we were sleeping in the church, and then I was like, and so like he goes over to sit by Dana's character. Well, Sarah's character, he walks over by Dana's character. And she was like, so you just gonna ignore me? He was like, you're the one getting engaged to two different dudes, and one of your fiancés is over there. And she was like, nobody had a plan. Did anybody have a plan? Anybody?
Is this how everyone else's Curse of the Strahd game?
Right. No, I assume this is how they're all going.
No,
right?
No. Our DM is in a group for Curse of Strahd runners, and we're the only group that's just a shit show like this, where there's polycules.
Yes.
Where we're banging.
Be shit show, be proud.
Oh, we were so excited. We were like, yeah.
And this is the difference between on-screen and off-screen gaming.
Yeah, we do some dumb stuff off-screen.
And although you gotta admit, we've done some dumb stuff on-screen.
I am disinclined to like. I mean, one, I don't dress up. Two,
for Muggle games, no, I don't dress up.
No,
y'all gonna get raggedy me.
I barely wear clothes, and by barely wear clothes, it's like pajama time, right?
In fact, we're pushing the threshold of me wearing clothes right now.
I don't tend to do accents. My characters aren't necessarily like. Some days I'm really invested in it, and some days I'm like half in the game, and I think that's how because that's how you play. This is my time off. This is my fun with friends and family, right?
Yep.
But yeah, most of the time I'm just a damn fool. Like, what's the most ridiculous thing that could happen here?
Real talk. I've done some dumb.
My favorite thing, and I mean favorite is to mean the opposite of that, is when I make bad decisions on purpose, and I am informed that is a bad decision. And,
then I'm going to do it more.
And then they're like, yeah, you don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know if I should tell this story. I was barefoot. My character was barefoot. And I personally, ma'am, I'm a glass walker. I'm very known for my skill in walking on broken glass.
Yeah.
I have done it for years. I had a character that was barefoot, and there was broken glass all over the floor, and the DM or somebody was like, yeah, you're gonna cut your feet. And I'm like, really? Have you ever walked on this much broken glass before? I can tell you right now, her feet aren't gonna get cut. And then another guy was telling me, and yeah, they were guys, was telling me about the flammability of lamp oil or something, and I was like, okay, let me tell you, I hate to be this person. I don't hate to be this person. I hate to be this person, But let me tell you, I actually study the flame point of various flammable liquids for fire eating because I have to freaking know it.
Yep.
And yeah, so them telling me that, I know what it was. I had designed traps for vampires in the sewers.
Ooh.
And nobody else like ever thinks of this stuff. I was like, look, it's not that hard. Like, it was a bunch of pencils. They're just wooden pencils sharpened to a really good point with a high tension, basically a crossbow bolt launcher. One of them may hit the heart, may not, but it's gonna suck anyways.
You never know.
We're not looking for quality of hit. We're looking for quantity.
Yeah,
and hoping to get lucky.
And then the other thing I did was I had like a fat piece of fabric on top of a bunch of Christmas ornaments, the glass ones, and they were all filled with lamp oil. So that, and I, so the floor was made up of just all these balls of lamp oil, and then the fabric on top of it, and they walk in and they step on it and it starts breaking, and then they fall because your ground's unsteady. They'd have to make a deck save or whatever, crash it all, sets off a spark. They're in a little flaming ball pit.
It's a beautiful trap. It's poetry.
Thank you.
It's poetic.
Thank you very much.
It's poetic.
I like it. I wanted to clarify. I do accents. I just don't do them consistently.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, accents are fun.
I don't.
I agree.
I'm in my game like, okay, y'all, look, this is what she does. Like, I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, but I'm talking accents like, all the time.
I do too, and I switch. Whenever. I'm like the most ridiculous. Like, I start off in French, and then suddenly, like, it's like West Country, and
it's like
and
fake Russian,
New Jersey, fake Russian,
fake Mid-Atlantic. Yeah. Let me tell you another story that I'm going to do this thing over here. Stand by, everyone.
I'm gonna be real honest. Like, my accents suck, and like, I think it's because my normal accent, when I didn't have it browbeaten out of me, is pretty reckless, and so like, it's hard for me to do stuff because every now and then it just kind of falls into this weird Louisiana, Texas thing. And the only one I can do is some random English accent. And it gets worse the drunker I get, depending on if I'm drinking or not. So like, it starts out really cool, and then like when I'm doing Muggle Game and I'm like downing a couple of bottles of wine while we're being stupid, because there's been that's the other thing. I don't really like drink on live streams because
I have like a very little.
I just have a glass of wine, but I'm gonna tell you, on my other games where we just like drinking and playing, there have been things that happened in our game because someone was drunk, and poor decisions 100%. Were made. Poor decision. Like, even
I would
like
to pick up my teammate and throw him across the broken stairs so that he gets to the other side. I'm sorry, you dude. What? Like,
you heard me. I pick him up.
Okay, that's fine. All right, you made your decision. And the guy fell down into the pit.
My favorite thing was one of our players admitted in my local game last week that the reason that we got in a huge firefight with a whole bunch of vampires is because she was drunk and she started it and she was lit. And I was like, so the reason, I was shit faced. I was like, oh, okay.
We are getting super duper crazy in the weeds, and you guys have all wasted another 2 hours with us Sunday.
What?
And we were just gabbing and chatting. It's like we're at a social engagement, and I loved every goddamn minute of it.
I love that you all stuck with us through this.
Right? Thanks for listening to our rant. Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
Everybody, I say before we leave, everybody throw a bunch of love for Mike in the chat. So if he ever comes back and watches it.
Yes, throw love in the chat for Mike. So he can see everything. You're amazing.
Your face is amazing. You're very well put together.
Throw love to Mike in the chat. And I mean, we've technically reached our 2 hours that we normally would do for the game. So, thanks for joining. We didn't get dressed up for nothing.
This is the we didn't get dressed up for nothing AMA.
AMA. And thanks for hanging out. And final questions, real quick, while we do our what do we call our close?
We're gonna do a closing pitch, and then but you guys post your one last question, then it's gonna be a 1-sentence answer from each of us. So you guys pick a question while I go through the quick, or actually Meg is gonna go through the show rundown, which I think we have in the
hold on. I'm trying to find it. Hold on, give me a second. I'm trying to
brand. That's the one
for answering what our favorite monster
new one?
Is that the one? We're gonna do the show pitch, and then after the show pitch, we're gonna everyone gets to answer quick one word
answer.
What's
your favorite monster? Got it.
All right, we
show
got
banner.
That one. Boom! All right, today is Sunday. We have done Savage Moon special episode AMA without Mike Nystole because he is trying to get his life together. Actually,
no, he's sick.
He's sick, so we're hoping he's feeling much better. So on Sundays, be sure to pop back in for that for next week. Mondays, we have Modern Monday with Lady Prudence at 8 p.m. Reminder that these are all Eastern times.
Yes.
And she wraps up just in time for 10 p.m. Glamour Hobo bedtime tales with our own Carmel Clavin. Of course, Tuesday is the main game of Nat 21 Adventures. Right now, it's all Bard Party that Mab is a part of. Shenanigans. And then on Wednesday, that I now have a day job and hate myself for it, that we have Creating with the Crew at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, I know it sucks. And then at night, it's Goblonia with Team Science right now. And then, of course, on Thursdays at 9 a.m., we have Sonnets with Shakespeare, a lovely Shakespeare proofs. And then at 10 p.m., we have Gothic Horror Gaming, which I will be back on the 28th for our Victorian shenanigans with Tom Zadoiko and the rest of our crew of foolery.
I think Mike Nystle's on the 10 p.m.
I think he just finished. I think the last.
No, it's on the other one. On the other one, yeah, they're doing the Delta Green. They're finishing up the Delta Green.
Nice.
And then we're doing the Victorian. Well, now it's almost 18th century. It's almost 1900s. That's 20th century.
Okay.
So we're breaking the threshold. So we have one question.
The final question: what is your favorite monster? Tanya, go.
Modrons. Hands down. Love them.
Oh, they're all right. Mimic.
She is Mimic.
And all this time to think about it.
Succubus! Woo!
Nice. Mimics, they're a
Demons
classic.
Mimics are a classic. It's true.
It is a classic. I love the Demons from Hell. Woo! Fire! All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys later. Just because we can, we're gonna do the closing just so you think that we actually played a game. Love you guys.
I didn't die.
We didn't die. Love you, Mike. Hope you feel better, and we will catch you on the flip side next week.
Love you, Mike.
Mwah.